How's it going, Sha?
Ah, oh, fine.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We're barreling through.
Okay.
We're barreling through. I have faith that things will be fine.
Mm.
That doesn't sound believable, does it?
I was in a good place until you started talking today.
I'm so sorry.
Now I feel worried. 'Cause
Yeah,
I feel like you know more than me.
I
So if
don't.
you,
I don't. I don't think I do. I think it's just uh there I've had some I'm having some realizations
okay.
just about various things and trying to figure out my place in all of it and I'm not happy with where I'm
Oh no.
falling, but all you can do is what you can do. Also, I'm speaking like inspirational posters, but not even good inspirational posters.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where it's like where an eagle is soaring and it's there's something underneath it that's just like success. And underneath that in smaller letters is like, you got this bitch or whatever. I don't, I'm not even speaking there. It's not even like that. It's just like, uh, someone trying to zip up or unzip their dress in the
Right.
back by themselves. And then, then it says it's a picture of that with a word just like persistence. And underneath that in smaller letters, like that's what you get for being alone or something. You know what I mean? Like, nothing is coming together right now, but I have, I think I have faith that it will.
Okay. I don't think faith works like that, right?
No, it
Isn't it a
doesn't, and I
okay.
normally don't have faith. So I think those I thought those were the way you were supposed to position those words.
Okay.
So again, we're all learning and growing. See, here I am again doing it. I gotta stop. I don't mean to do this.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I was feeling pretty put together until about 5 minutes ago.
Okay,
Now
sorry about that.
I'm
Well, let's
incredibly
go
nervous.
back in time to 6 minutes ago. How are you doing?
I can't do that. I don't time travel, Sean. Now
Oh,
I'm falling apart. Um
oh boy, sorry about
you,
that.
it's all good. It's all good. You need that emotional swing. It keeps you hungry, keeps you working. I appreciate moments of feeling uncertain. I think despair is a weird motivator.
Despair is a weird I dare say it's one of the best motivators.
Yeah. I don't think
Despair.
I don't think people speak about it enough. You need like a little despair. You need a little bit of that. It's good for the soul. It's def good for the resume.
Is it? Well, I don't know if you want the despair to show on the resume.
Right. It doesn't show, but it encourages the resume to look good, I think. Like the work you do because of the despair. Like if
Oh.
I like when I see somebody resume, like when I was hiring people, and they would be like sales, top 3 in the country, 4 years running. I know he was going through some shit those years. Like
Oh.
there's no you wasn't happy during that time. It's impossible. you know.
Okay, so you don't believe that anyone could just love their job. It's probably despair.
Yeah, I think if you love your job, you're like top 15%. But like
Okay.
out of like 100 people, you're in the top 15. But like the top 3 people doing anything, I don't think they happy.
Okay. So
Yeah,
then what does this do for you wanting to be the best?
yeah. I've accepted that. Like I think that's a trade off. I think there's gonna be a portion of my life where I am working not for me, but for the a goal of being great. So like I'm willing to trade off like 10 years of happiness in exchange for greatness.
Oh, so you think you can limit the amount of time that you will be unhappy?
I think I can limit that by how long I want to stay great. You know what I mean? Because I just want the crown once. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like fighting for the belt. Like Mike Tyson happy as shit now. Why? Because he ain't boxing no more. But he still was GOAT once. You know? But he didn't. So like if he would have kept trying to maintain GOAT status, I think he would have been unhappier for longer. I think
Okay.
it's in that pursuit of trying to stay great that you give up happiness. So there comes a point where you kind of have to like trade that back. And I think he's made that trade back.
Huh. So you are willing to do what you got to do,
Yeah.
even if it means being unhappy, in order
Yep.
to get the crown. And then you get the crown and you take a couple of selfies in the crown.
Hell yeah.
And then you let the kids take a couple of pictures in the crown if they are still speaking to you.
Amen.
And then you're just like, "Appreciate you," and you give the crown back after a few months?
Yeah. Like a year. I want it for a year. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm fully accepting like this is really, really like out there. It's like I'm nowhere near where this is even realistic to put out there. But I
Sure.
definitely want to be one of the great like comedic people. I
Right.
want to be in particular, I want to be the best storyteller in comedy. I
Okay.
really want that crown. And I
Mhm.
want it to be like I want it to be like publicly accepted. Like I want other people saying it, not me saying it. And I'm willing to accept that for like the next decade, my work life balance ain't gonna be great in order to get that. But in turn, I don't want to be the greatest of all time. I just want to be considered one of the greats and that I was the greatest for a time.
Okay.
So I think in order to get that, I have to be willing to put away some time into just that. And then in turn, once I get it, I'm cool. I don't need like I ain't trying to be the Yankees. I don't need 27 rings. I'm cool with just one. I'll tell all my boss stories forever after that shit. You know what I mean? And each like my logic is if I lived in like Manhattan, it's different. You know what I mean? But like in East New York, if I win the ring just once, I'm never buying drinks out here again. I'm good. Like I'm
Gotcha.
Gucci in my hood. So that's
Okay.
my goal. Like I want to be able to go to any corner till like I'm 70 and like, yo, nah, Gastor don't pay for Arizonas at this bodega. You know what I'm saying? That's my dream. I want to just
Oh,
walk in, yo, he get heroes forever from this corner
mhm.
store.
I want you to dream bigger, but I also don't want it to disrupt your life. I feel like a bigger dream will just add years to your unhappiness,
Yeah.
and I don't wanna do that, but I do want you to aim higher than free Arizona iced teas. That's just what I want for you.
I mean, it's just I'm cool with like more. It's just that I want because I don't want more from other people. I want
Mm-mm.
what my people can give me because it means more. You know what I mean? Like if I'm
Sure.
the GOAT storyteller for that like time frame, other people in other places who are more affluent will acknowledge it, but it'll mean more in my hood to me. So like I want like the Emmy, but I want to like I told you I want to take all the EGOT awards to Broadway Junction. I
Right.
want to take pictures out there. I want to bring it back to the people. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I want that notoriety, but I want to cash that in for my people. I want them to kind of like celebrate with me. So getting to Arizona from the corner stores would mean more to me. It's not that the Arizona means a lot in itself.
Mhm.
It's what that person giving me Arizona means. Cause that like an Arizona to him is like, you know, when when Tyler Perry gave like Tiffany Haddish that car, like that's the same shit. You know, that's a Arizona to Tyler Perry. He probably got them cars in stock. Like, oh yo, thanks for that delivery, UPS guy. Here's a free car. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? He just gives those out to people that he's friendly with that year. But it meant something to that UPS dude. He was like, oh, I went above and beyond that one time. Tiffany Haddish told that story. Same thing. The corner store dude giving me Arizonas when I walk around, that's gonna mean something to me.
Well, that's something. Uh, I mean, it's good to have a realistic goal or to have a goal and be realistic about what it'll take to get there.
Yeah.
Um, I I have very few goals. So I don't think about what it takes to get there. So then when I do make a goal and then I have to do whatever it takes, I'm like, well, ugh, no one told me about that part. so so I don't have like a I want to be able to do this and the thing with the whatnot. I don't necessarily have that. Or perhaps I do and I just don't think about it because I know the work it'll take,
Mm.
and I have to. I'm pretty lazy, so I got to figure out if I really want to do that work. So um, the acknowledgement of knowing that you're holding yourself back doesn't make you hold yourself back less, but it does make you a bit of a bummer when it comes to small talk.
Oh man, I love discovering this hurdle that our shows had for the last year. Uh,
It's
let's
me.
kick off the show with the thing that Shalewa struggles with the most.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly what feedback has been on the Shalewa therapy 10-minute intro. Um where I come in and bleed all over the internet and then you say something that's extremely East New Yorkian and then we go into the news. I don't know. I don't know if that is what's holding us back or the
You
fact
think
that
that's the
there are,
difference?
5011 podcasts. But I'm gonna blame the other podcast. It can't be our
Nah,
secret sauce,
we got a
which
brand
is
here, Shy.
which is a weird ass co-host. That can't be it. It's probably the other podcast.
This is the most niche intro ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Why not? With that said, let's get into the news.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
You know, why not? Why not? Who says New Year's resolution for segues? I'm gonna add that to to my goals. There, federal judge allows healthcare workers in New York to apply for religious exemptions to the COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Federal judge has temporarily allowed healthcare workers in New York to apply for religious exemptions to the state's COVID-19 mandate. U.S. District Judge David Hurd made the ruling on Tuesday, granting a preliminary injunction that allows healthcare workers to apply for religious exemptions considered by their employees. Hurd stated that the State Department of Health is barred from interfering in any way with the granting of religious exemptions from COVID-19 vaccination going forward or with the operation of exemptions already granted. Hurd also barred the Department of Health from taking disciplinary or other action on licenses, certifications, residencies, or other professional statuses for those healthcare workers who have sought or obtained religious exemption. For the last month, 17 healthcare workers, many of them unnamed doctors, residents, and nurses, filed a lawsuit objecting to New York State Department of Health's vaccine mandate, which didn't allow for religious exemptions. The judge issued a temporary restraining order on September 14th related to the religious exemptions.
Okay, what religion is anti-vax?
Yeah, I don't know at this point. I would have assumed Catholic, but they are not. They've been on board with it.
Yeah, no, they're very much on board.
Yeah, nah. Yo, the Pope was like, nah, you ain't getting me again. I've been
Yeah.
behind the eight ball on a lot of these things. Nope, I'm on board. Vax me up. I got both vaxes. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
So who's against them?
I don't
I'm
know.
not saying show yourself. I'm not saying I'm not saying come down, you know, to the stadium so we can stone you or anything. I'm just curious how much of a problem is this?
Yeah, it's. I'm assuming that like this. I mean, I don't want to like quote someone. My impression has been is that this has been like interpretation of certain readings. So like I don't think any one religion, from what I at least of the major ones,
Mhm.
has that stance. But I know some people have interpreted like certain readings, like the sign of the beast thing. Has been like a big thing that I've seen going around a lot of Christian
Wait, hold
groups.
on, hold on, hold on.
What is it?
If you I mean, so so let me get this straight. So then if you think that the vaccine has the sign of the beast in it,
Right.
you might be able you might be able to get and you're a doctor. If you are a nurse and you think
Right.
the vaccine has the sign of the beast in it, you could
Right.
get this is like a terrible Jeff Foxworthy bit. You could get a religious exemption.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I mean,
That's odd.
yeah. You gotta
That
put it out there though. But
yeah, I mean, I guess, if that is because I don't know all the religions. I'm sure there are a few that are just like, nah. Christian Scientists?
okay.
Like, aren't you not really allowed to go to hospitals or get treat or some I feel like there's something with the Christian Scientists that they've got a lot of restrictions in how they view healthcare.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. Okay, I was just wondering, like, if this was so much of a problem that they were like, all right, look, we got to go ahead and grant this because I mean, I haven't come across, well, except for one Lyft driver who spent the whole drive um telling me about the mark of the beast and actually how it's in like luminescence or fluorescence or something.
Okay.
So it's in under your skin, but it also glows, but you can only see it when someone waves a black light over it. He had of
Wow.
of the stories, I mean, his might have been my favorite.
That's
No one
solid.
else was coming at it with a black light. So that means if you go to the club, it's right there. It's right there. Mark of the beast.
You
Um
in.
yeah, I don't know. That's why also I want to make sure that we're what about those people who can marry people?
What?
You know, the people who go, they fill out a form online. You used to mail away for it, and you come back and you're like
Oh.
a preacher in some real basic church.
Right, right. Like you like a fake minister for
Yeah, but you're legal.
you legal. You could do weddings.
Right. So, I mean, you can do weddings. Do you have any leadership? Like, can you also just be like, and I don't believe in vaccines, and these are the people who follow me? Or is there just a wedding only religion?
Yo. That's pretty yo. Like I ain't gonna front. I'm pro vax, but
hmm
I want to try that. Like I want to get a job and see if that loophole would work.
I don't know. I bet a lot of people don't know about this, that it's been granted that this ruling has happened. I bet
Yeah,
a lot of New York people probably don't realize it.
and it's in a way it's kind of too late because it went into effect Tuesday, but
I
most of
know.
these places let everybody go Monday. Like
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
my
it went
yeah
into effect, but also like mandates have been in place and people have already lost jobs or walked out on jobs or whatever, or just sucked it up and gotten the vaccine even if they didn't want to keep their job and that kind of thing.
right.
So it feels in a way that I guess much in the way that if you're looking for a reason to not get it and you're like, what about religion at the last minute? It feels like that is when they're like, okay, at the last minute.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious if Kyrie Irving will claim that he is a spiritual leader because of his crossovers.
Look, what's going on with him? Like to do, what's he doing? What's he gonna do?
They,
I don't look, do whatever you have to do, but stop putting stress on my boo Steve Nash's heart. Y'all, let
you hurting that poor Canadian man's soul. Okay,
let him try to do his job. Y'all stop stressing him out.
I'm pro that. I'm a Brooklyn fan, so yeah, let's make that happen. Texas governor bans COVID-19 vaccine mandates by any employer in the state.
Jeez.
Okay. Texas Governor Greg Abbott on Monday issued an executive order banning all state entities, including private employers, from enforcing vaccine mandates, the latest escalation in the Republicans' resistance to public health measures during the COVID-19 pandemic. The order states that no entity in Texas can enforce vaccination against anyone in the state who objects for any reason of personal conscience based on a religious belief or for medical reasons, including prior recovery from COVID-19. The COVID-19 vaccine is safe, effective, and our best defense against the virus, but should remain voluntary and never forced, Abbott said in a statement. I feel like he said, "Oh, word, New York got this popping." Nah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take it the other way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This is wow.
I
I
mean,
feel. Whew.
for something that's supposed to be voluntary, why are you making it um and also it's an executive order. So to me an executive order is when have you seen the movie The Wiz?
Nah,
Okay. Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
I sound familiar, but I have
It's a
not seen it.
black version of The Wizard of Oz
Okay.
that came out in like late 70s, early 80s. It was a Broadway show and then they
Okay.
made a movie of it. And so Wizard of Oz, you got your Dorothy, Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion. So Dorothy is Diana Ross, which is
Oh.
pushing it. um I think she was supposed to be a 25-year-old woman and she was 36 when she played it. I don't know, but you get it. The Scarecrow was Michael Jackson, the Tin Man was Nipsey Russell, and the Lion was Ted Ross. And it's based in New York.
Okay.
So instead of Dorothy like living with her aunt and uncle or whatever and never really going outside or whatever, this Dorothy lives with her aunt and uncle, but she's never gone below 125th Street. So there's a big snowstorm. She gets caught up in a snowstorm like the tornado, and she's in the rest of New York,
Okay.
where she meets everybody. And I forgot where I was going with this.
Sometimes you just want to bring up a good movie. This cast looks
I
incredible.
got caught up. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh yes. Anywho, got it. So so they're doing it. They're going down the yellow brick road, but in the movie they're singing "Ease on Down the Road." I can't believe I have to reenact this for you. You really should watch The Wiz.
I'm on board. Once you said the cast, I was in it.
Okay, so when they get to Emerald City,
Okay.
which I think is like like South Manhattan or something. Maybe it's like the South Street Seaport or some shit. Anyway, they get there and everybody looks to be dressed in green and they're all parading about. And then there's a fanfare. And then the Wiz announces, the Wiz, by the way, played by Richard Pryor.
Okay.
The Wiz announces that he's tired of green. That color is dead. The new color is red. And then everything turns red, right? And now they're all prancing around in red and singing songs about being in red or whatever. So the Wiz just occasionally will just change the color. He'll just come out and make a proclamation and change the color. And that's what this story is giving me. What a roundabout way to say it. But because it wasn't in the Wizard of Oz, it was I'm thinking of The Wiz, where there's just like a and then Greg Abbott goes,
Oh
nobody
man.
gets nothing. And then everyone's like, I guess I go without and stuff disappear. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it feels. If you are a listener and you watch The Wiz, and I have a feeling there are probably at least 5 of you that know what I'm talking about.
Listen, I don't want to get any DMs next week talking about I make too much East New York references. That was the most niche shit ever, and I'm fully on board for it. Let's do it. Pro Wiz. That's the homework for me this week. I'm watching The Wiz.
Yeah.
I want to see Michael Jackson be Scarecrow.
Oh my goodness, he has a great song called "You Can't Win" that he sings when the crows are harassing him. It's something. It's really something. When
is
the
this who
bad
Nipsey
witch
Hussle got his name
who
from, by the way?
has like a fact. First off, the bad witch towards the end, like Dorothy lands on one witch, and then that one's sister, the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
When they show her, it's played by the actress Mabel King, who was the mother on What's Happening. If that means anything to you, it may not. And so she's singing. Her place that she set up is a sweatshop.
Oh
Look,
my
as a
god.
New Yorker, you should watch it just off rip.
Yeah, I'm game.
Like, it is truly. And then because I was a kid when it came out, so I remember, like, I think we saw it on Broadway when I was a kid, and we saw it, like, in the movie theaters. Like, it's very important, but it's very much like what the city looked like as a kid. Just like all these big things, and the lion is one of the lions in front of the library. You know what I mean? Like, it's really great. It's really great. But
Okay.
yeah, anywho, this dude making proclamations that, the color is now gold is just bullshit. Which is ultimately the lesson of the whiz.
Hey, I'm with it. You know, I gotta tell you a side benefit of you telling me this is that I realize Wikipedia is tailored to people like me because I click on his page, I'm
Mhm.
reading the credits: Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell. I click on, I'm like Nipsey Russell. I click on that, and the first thing it says Nipsey Russell, not to be confused with Nipsey Hussle. Thank you. Like, there's people like me out here that don't know the difference until I read the profile, see the pictures.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I'll tell you what, when Nipsey Hussle came out, I was like, I'm not sure I really care to hear any of his music, but that name is fantastic. But
Mm-hmm.
that is simply because I love Nipsey Russell so much.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so great.
But you gotta learn your history, be it Wikipedia or some crazy 50-year-old lady ranting at you from a podcast. Gotta learn your history, kids.
The Wiz, the film. Check it out. We're gonna talk about it next week in the
We
reading group.
absolutely are.
uh, Wisconsin parents file a lawsuit against school districts over their children's COVID-19 infections. So this is all over the place. Okay, Wisconsin parents are suing two school districts over the COVID-19 mitigation efforts, arguing that the systems failed to protect their children from getting infected. The first lawsuit was filed in federal court last week by Shannon Jensen against the Waukesha School District, the Waukesha School Board of Education, and a number of school board members and district employees, according to court documents. Then on Monday, Gina Kildall filed a separate complaint against the Fall Creek School District, the board, its superintendent, and individual board members for recklessly refusing to implement COVID-19 mitigation strategies recommended by the CDC. By bringing students back to class around unmasked staff, reinstituting extracurricular activities, and allowing potentially contagious visitors and volunteers into the school without masks, FCSD and the board threw students into a COVID-19 snake pit, creating an affirmative duty to keep their students safe from COVID-19.
Huh.
Whoa, she came
Okay.
with bars. I'm with it.
All right. So I I struggle to really understand how hard this is for parents. I don't struggle to understand. I fully understand how hard it is. I guess I struggle in general with feelings. So so I am like, what I get that you've got to take the kids got to go back.
Right,
And I get that a lot of schools are like, "Hey, it's either come back or nothing." Um, and I guess that you feel like you have no choice, right? You know
right,
what I mean? Like, some places, maybe you just feel like, if I don't do this, what do I do? Homeschool them? I can't homeschool them. I can't be home,
right.
or I don't have the credentials. Although I know that there are there's a lot more material for people who want to homeschool. You just have to be careful that you are getting the correct accredited material for where you are, and that it's not connected to some sort of wingnut group. um that it is about education and not indoctrination, right? It's a thing you
Right,
got to look for.
for sure.
And I get being very mad, very upset that you're just like, everybody come back, you don't need a mask. It's, it'll be the honor system. You don't look like you have COVID. I get wanting to be that upset. But there's still a part of me that's like, man, there was no way that you could do homeschooling or something, or just be like, maybe we'll just sit this year out. I don't know. It's so tough. It's super tough, and I really feel for them. And I I I don't necessarily feel for any school district who's not like, all right, at least put masks on
Yeah, I
at
mean,
the very least.
that's kind of where like my issue starts with this. Like, I'm okay with, like, it is what it is. Different people believe different things, and the people in power in that area in Wisconsin seem to not believe that, mandating the educational staff at these schools to be vaccinated is a thing. I'm fine with that, but man, like, the mask, like, is that really like that big of a demand to make when you're around? I feel like schools and like hospitals, like, those are the two groups where, like, you're around minors and you're around like people that are sick. Like,
Hmm.
you could rock a mask around them people.
Yeah.
And the rest of the day, cool. Like, I get it. I ain't forcing you to get the shot. I ain't gonna force you to wear a mask outside. But like, I feel like as a society, like, I thought we kind of like we were past this point where, like, all right, for these two crews, we kind of like, we let it vibe. Like the whole, like, like the Titanic goes down, women and children. Like, we say that, like, I didn't
Right.
think we was reneging on one of those already. Like, oh,
Right.
nah, like, not all the kids, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just wild to me that, like, this is even like a thing that, like, had to be fought over, that these women have to go in for. Um, but yeah, I also hear you in terms of like, I wish there were other alternatives. And I'm sure they are, but they're just not easy.
Right.
Um, I do. I am gonna keep putting this out there. I want there to be uh classes on YouTube. I feel like there should be free school on YouTube, so that, like, anywhere you are in the world, if you don't have access to a building, you have access to an education. And
Hmm.
then in situations like this, you could be like, "Yo, my kid went to YouTube the last 2 weeks. He had a cold or some shit, and it covers the same classes." Know what I mean? And you could show the work, and by showing what days of YouTube work the kid did, the teacher in the actual school could verify that the work kept up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think the issue with that is that is, for all intents and purposes, a centralized education system.
Right.
And America don't do so well with centralized shit. We ain't trying to centralize nothing. Every man is its own country.
I'm trying. I want to figure this out. I feel like there's a way of solving this where we're making this too hard. It shouldn't be this complicated.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my goodness. I mean, I hope they win, but mostly I just want everybody to put a mask on if you are in these, hot zones. In the
Yeah.
hot zones of the school, in the hot zones of a um, you know, a retired home, nursing facility, whatever we're calling them. I don't know. Old folks. And in the hospitals, like, I can't see. We've already seen that it works. We've already
Yeah.
seen that it works.
Yeah. And they look cool. Like, I gotta tell you, just stylistically, you should be wearing masks anyway. I'm
Yeah,
pro mask.
I think a lot of people have trouble with the stylistic part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I think you can say that, but I think that that is very overwhelming for some people, just judging by I saw someone tweet out something where I guess it was like a picture of the women's clothing section in a Target, and it was just like sweats, right?
Yeah.
Multicolored sweats. And she was just like, "Oh, this is fashion. Look at it, such a mess. It's such shapeless sweats, and how are we supposed to pastel colors? How are we supposed to do anything?" And I was like, I mean, I bought one of those sweatshirts and I wear it with a skirt that's not in there. Like, y'all can't just pair things up differently. And then I realized, no, no,
Yeah.
a lot of people can't. So, so I think a lot of people, they can't wrap their heads around, like, like to them, it's easier to be an individual without a mask than to just wear a mask that, I don't know. It's so weird. Everybody's so weird about
Okay,
this. And I just want you to fucking slap them one of those little blue medical ones on and let's keep it moving.
that's it. You know what?
Yeah.
New rule: everybody that buys a mask gets a free bedazzler. You know what I
Oh,
mean? You
wow.
could do stuff with it. Bedazzler and like your choice of 5 stickers.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Okay.
I think
Stickers
that's
on the, you
let's
know
try
what? I mean,
something.
people are wearing the Crocs with the weird little baubles stuck in them.
Yeah,
And that's odd to me. But it's also like buttons on a jacket. That I understand.
we
Put a
starting
button
something.
on your mat. Well, maybe not. That's gonna get the air through.
Yeah,
There's
no,
a way. I don't know. An iron on? I'm not sure. We'll work it out.
there's a movement starting here. Okay. In other news, Amazon will let individual teams decide how much time they spend in the office. Amazon is shifting its approach to remote work again, giving its workers more control over how much time they spend in the office and opening the door for more corporate workers to continue working from home. The company will now allow individual teams to decide which policy works for them, ranging from full time return to office life to remaining mostly remote. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said in a note to employees on Monday, at a company of our size, there is no one size fits all approach for how every team works best. For our corporate roles, instead of specifying that people work a baseline of 3 days a week in the office, we're going to leave this decision up to individual teams. He added, referring to the Amazon's earlier policy of how often it should require employees to be present in person. Company directors will decide what frequency of in person work suits their teams.
Man,
Yeah.
look, that this kind of thing is what my daily life, uh my daytime life is about.
Yeah.
Like figuring out how to come back to the office and what that looks like, and it's a conversation that we've been having for the better part of this year, and, I'm tired. I'm tired, and it's such a fraught conversation, and I it's a lot, and it's, depending on your size and how your company works, it's a lot of people, with anxieties that you just ratcheted up to 11, nervous about everything, even things that they can control, things that they can't control, and a different, and then trying to manage that. And it's so much. I absolutely understand this approach of just like maybe every section should decide how they want to do it.
I feel that. I also feel like this is Andy saying, "Yo, I don't want to handle this shit. I'm gonna pass the
Oh
buck off
no,
to y'all."
no boss wants to handle this.
Yo,
No boss wants to hand every one of them is just like, "Well, I'll just let you guys decide." And then, that level looks down. It's just a reverse pyramid scheme. "I'll let you guys decide." And I mean, if you get down to the bottom, we're like, "I don't feel like doing this ever again."
yeah, and that's not
Still
gonna
cut me
vibe
my
either.
check though. Like, you know what I mean? But there are also people who are like, "I absolutely have to come in because I cannot do work where how I'm living."
Right, right,
And so like it would make sense. It seems like it would make people um happier to do their job if they were able to do it in a way that works out well for them and their lifestyle, no matter how that works,
right, right,
and how that looks different for different people, and how the freedom to do that would free up a lot of time and anxiety, a lot that their brain is going through trying to jump through these hoops, these arbitrary hoops, when we all see right now that it is possible to do it in different ways and still get things done.
right.
But ain't no one trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Capitalism ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yo, because I'm reading this and like I felt like he was like, I ain't gonna tell y'all what to do. I think this 3 day shit was a dope idea, but I'm gonna let you pick.
Yes,
You know what I
right.
mean? I'm gonna let
Be-
you come on board with me.
because they, you got to justify paying rents.
This
You got
is
to, you
this
know,
feels like when like you tell your kid I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but you expect them to do what you want them to do anyway.
right.
You know, so like I feel like this was the energy he was putting out there. Like you shouldn't. I'm gonna let you decide to do what I want you to do.
Yeah, which is emotionally that's still heavy.
Oh
Like, that's
yeah,
not fair
at
that
all.
now, you know what I mean? It's just like, "Hey, man, I'm not gonna I because here's what I wanna do, and then now if that's what you wanna do, okay, I mean, if that's what you wanna do." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
"It is," but now, you got people look giving you the side eye who
Oh yeah.
opted to go a different way. So now you're like, "Well, I get the feeling that boss man wants me to do it this way, even though that is not what works for me, but, I mean, it hadn't worked for me before, and I still kept the job." So, you know what I mean? It's kinda wild that we've been through and are still going through this life-altering pandemic, and we've seen how so many things are affected and changed, and I say this, I feel like a couple of times a month I say this on this podcast, and people are still just like, "Well, back to how it was before," and that wasn't ideal for some people, and instead of,
Yeah.
like, acknowledging that and all that stuff, we're just like, "Yep, everyone back to what you were doing before," and it's like, "Well, before, I was crying every day before I got out of bed, but yeah, I guess back to it." You know?
Oh man, yeah, that is way too real right there. I
Sorry, I swear, everyone, next week, Mercury will no longer be in retrograde, and I will be able to, pull back all of my emotions and shove them back down into the box that I normally keep them in right underneath my spleen, but right now, I seem to have sprung a leak.
Oh man, I just love the idea that like somebody's gonna hear this for the first time and they're gonna look us up and the bio is gonna say comedians.
I
And I
know!
just think that's great. Highly depressed comedians.
Alright, well,
Uh,
we are comedians by trade, but we are also truth tellers.
there you go. There you go.
Yo, if anyone ever calls me a truth teller, just punch them. For real, karate chop them like, the elbow or something. Knock their
Will
elbow
do.
the corner of their elbow into a table. Like, really make them go, "Ah," make them rethink that.
Uh-huh. Take it back.
Take
You know
it
what I mean?
back, because that is not who I am.
uh, Jon Gruden resigns as Raiders coach over offensive emails. Jon Gruden has resigned as the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders after emails he sent before being hired in 2018 contained racist, homophobic, and misogynistic comments. Gruden released a statement on Monday saying, "I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry I never meant to hurt anyone." He stepped down after New York Times reported that Gruden frequently used misogynistic and homophobic language directed at Commissioner Roger Goodell and others in the NFL. Special teams and assistant head coach Rich Bisaccia will take over on an interim basis.
Okay, look, here's, my question, to you.
Talk to me.
Alright, so the first little email came out, right?
Yeah.
And he said something that was questionable that I think he tried to explain away as like uh, like a not a slur, but just like he thought it was just a turn of phrase, which it is not. I can't remember what it was, but it's something I was like, I don't know if I've heard that before, but it definitely, if I have, it wasn't positive. This don't look positive. Um, and was just like, I don't have a racist bone in my body. I don't know who wrote that. I don't have a racist bone in my body. That is wild that I sent that email. Um,
hmm
and then all the rest of them came out, right? They
Yeah.
found the rest of them. And I mean, like within 30 minutes of that story hitting the New York Times, he was like, oh, uh, how about let me just go and get up out of here. Like,
hmm
so, but it was more of the same.
Right.
And they let him rock with this stuff for a long time,
hmm
and I saw some rumblings online as it was happening, and I was wondering, is it because of all of the stuff that he was saying, or was it because I believe he said something about what's the dude's name? Roger.
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell. Didn't he say a little something about him?
He did. I mean, a lot of the comments were directed at him directly, just because of some of the decisions he had made as a commissioner.
So,
Um,
do we think that it's because it was directed at him and not necessarily the stuff that he was saying when it was more general?
I think it's because of the amount of stuff.
Mm,
I think Goodell would have let one slide, but like it was OD, and it was as several people. It was just too much. I
yeah.
do like the idea of Goodell having that much ego. Like, nah, B, you diss me once, you gone. I don't care what happens.
I mean, I feel like when you're the commissioner of the NFL, you got a little bit of that,
Yeah, it's fair.
you
I ain't mad at
know?
that.
But and also the first one that came out, I don't think the dude was still at ESPN, right? And I don't think he
Yeah.
was talking shit about Goodell in that email, was he?
Nah, the first one was like he made a racist comment about a black coach, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he was referring to like his lips being big as like tires or something like
Oh,
that.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah,
Jesus Christ. And he
yeah, it was
still
rough.
would
It
he
was
would have
rough.
skated. He absolutely would have skated if they hadn't if I wonder, but I mean, if you know you wrote all of those emails, just a delusion. To know that you wrote all of those emails and you got them bitches in the hopper because no old people don't know how to delete shit. So
Yep.
you don't know about taking anything out off of a server, none of that. You don't know how to encrypt anything. You ain't writing this on WhatsApp. Like it's
None of these are safe.
none of these
Okay.
are safe. So you know you said this shit. And then this one comes out and you got the gall to come out and be like, I don't know who I was in that moment. I don't have a racist bone. Literally said I don't have a racist bone in my body.
Nah.
Which we got to change what it means to be. It's not the bones. It's not the bones.
You're right. You don't got a racist bone in your body. You got a racist soul.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's not.
I
It's
don't
not in the
question your
bones.
bones at all.
It's not.
Yeah, I was bothered by obviously this just because to me it felt like, like damn, like you winning really cures a lot,
Yeah.
because this guy basically won a championship and um spent a ton of time doing a cush job at ESPN, got rehired on an insane contract. The contract was 100 million over 10 years for a coach. So he was getting paid more than any other coach per year,
Mm,
and longer years after having not coached in years. Um all because he had won before and had a really good TV personality.
mhm,
But now that this has come out, like you got players that played with him, that played for him when he won in 2000 and whatever, like 2001 or 2 with Tampa Bay, that are like, oh yeah, he was racist back then. We just let it rock because he was a good coach.
right.
I'm like, damn, like it's not like I love winning, but it is a line, like you know what I'm saying. So um I don't know. I like I know winning cures all, but I didn't think it cured that. Like
Oh,
I
yeah, that's one of the first thing it cures.
yo,
Winning, winning, especially when there's a lot of money involved in it, winning will cure, um, any sort of racism, wild misogyny.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it'll definitely beat all of that stuff.
And all this, and I kind of like that how all this is getting discovered. That is kind of cool, because like all of this is because of the investigation that they've been doing into the Washington football team and their former leadership, and how out of pocket they were with like hiring hookers, and there was a ton of like sexual assault issues, and the team ownership originally not even wanting to change the name.
Mm,
That whole group has been removed, but they've been doing investigations into them to kind of like see how deep into the culture all of these issues were. And the only reason this got discovered is because of that investigation. Jon Gruden had emailed people while not working for any team, had emailed people that were working for the Washington football team.
Okay.
And those emails were there, and they were like, "Oh, well, we should just continue down this rabbit hole." And they found a whole bunch of new shit, But I kind of like that, like the whole fruit poison tree thing is kind of just getting rid of shitty people in more than one team. So I'm with it. You know what I
Y-
mean? Get rid of everybody
yeah. So
evil.
then, how many other heads will roll? Do you think?
I'm hoping 25, 30. Let's go.
Man,
Cause
I
like,
imagine there are a lot of older dudes just like,
yeah.
where is the delete?
Cause like this is like such a huge, like the NFL is like one of uh the leagues that is most like African American populated by players,
Mhm.
and over again they don't hire black leadership in terms of ownership executives and particularly coaches.
Mhm.
So they had to like make a rule where every time there's an opening for a head coach, one of the three people interviewed has to be black or BIPOC.
Mhm.
And they still kept not hiring. So like it didn't change the statistics of the hiring. There's like one dude that just like I forget his name, one of the black like defensive coordinators. He was like, "Yeah, I just do these interviews every year for kicks," but like he never was getting hired. Like he just knew they were inviting him in to check the box.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I've done like 20 interviews over the last 4 years. This guy got hired for his second job, like his second job interview. Like it didn't add up anymore. So stuff like this hopefully brings more of that to light and kind of evens that playing field. Maybe.
Maybe.
Put it out there.
Maybe.
That's it. We'll see. Puff Daddy, go buy a team. Jay-Z buy a team. Let's switch this up. You know
Mm,
what I mean?
I don't. Yeah. No.
Oprah buy a team.
No. Mm-mm. I don't want them to buy teams
Why not?
because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Fair.
So they're going to go into this that has been firmly established. And yes, it's going through a little upheaval right now, but it's still fairly firmly established. They're going to come in not knowing anything. They're going to get fucked over in some way that they're not going to see coming because they don't know how that mechanism works. And then people are going to be like, well, why'd they even buy a team anyway? They don't even know how it, and I don't want that for them. Um, I mean, be quiet money,
Okay.
but back someone who knows what they're doing. But I don't want to know it. I don't want to know that you've backed someone who knows what they're doing. And the problem with that is, can they keep their mouths shut? Jay, up to a certain point,
Yeah.
right? Did
Yeah,
he?
Puff
No.
can't do that. Nah, Diddy don't
Did he
do that.
have all the negotiations on IG Live? So no.
Oh man, I ain't mad at that. Actually, you know what I mean. I want to see all those negotiations. Let's do that. In other news, uh, lost 770 pounds of pot. This Florida sheriff wants to reunite you with your property. That's right. According to a Facebook post Wednesday from Brevard County Sheriff's Office, someone has misplaced 770 pounds of marijuana, and the agency is actively seeking the rightful owner. The cheeky
Hmm.
post with the headline, Brevard's County Sheriff's Office is attempting to return lost items. Also contains a picture of the gigantic stash that was reportedly seized from a storage unit in Vieira, Florida. If you happen to have lost or misplaced approximately 770 pounds of high grade marijuana and would like to have your property returned, please contact our narcotics agents and we will be more than happy to reunite you with your lost property, reads the caption. If the weed does indeed belong to you, the BCSO encourages you to head on down to the Criminal Investigation Services building in Rockledge and claim your property with absolutely no strings attached. Once we properly identify you as the rightful owner, we will gladly return your property and also make sure that both you and your property are kept in a secure area so that no one can try to rip you off, concludes
I
the caption.
I don't understand this. So this is a joke? This is them joking around?
Yeah, I think the heads down there at the office are kind of just having a little fun. They're
Uh
assuming that nobody's gonna come back and claim this.
uh-huh.
Um, I'm assuming like I feel like I would claim it and say that I'm from another state that's legal and be like, I don't know how it ended up over there. you should find out who that criminal was.
Right, but
But
this
this
is
is
all
mine.
my stuff from Colorado.
Word.
Gotcha.
Send that back.
That is send that back. You want if you want to go on and FedEx all that weed back to me, I'd
That'd be-
appreciate you.
Let me know how much that run you. I chip in.
Yeah. Put the insurance on it. Got to get a signature.
Oh, that's great.
So this is like a cop's way of making a joke.
Yeah, I mean they don't do stand up. It's not they. You know,
All right.
they
Well,
trying. I will say the picture is like ridiculous. Like it is a lot. 770 pounds of weed looks insane.
it's a lot of weed.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of weed. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 lunchroom tables
Yeah,
piled high.
that's diesel.
That's a lot. So I mean, if you lost your weed in a storage unit in Brevard County in Florida, I mean, everything that I add to that sentence just makes it sadder and sadder. But how do they know it's high grade marijuana?
Yeah, somebody
Mhm.
tested this. We see you.
Yeah.
That's how you write a post like this. By you test
That
this out first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like perhaps you tested it to see how high the grade was.
Yeah, and that number just seems weird. Who keeps 770 pounds? I
Yeah.
feel like it was 800, 1,000.
Right.
770 is just a weird amount.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, man. The plot thickens, bro.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Sheriff, you looking wild suspect over there, man.
Y'all wildin'. I've seen enough Miami Vice to know.
How long does weed stay good for?
I don't know. That's another thing I'm wondering. How long does
Yeah.
pot keep?
Yeah.
Does it go stale? And it does, doesn't it?
I would assume so.
So
Like,
is this just dried out? Or these just literally just sticks and like just stems? Like, I mean, was the storage unit climate control? Was it
right. Like
humid enough for the weed in there?
these are real questions.
Yeah.
Because like, and I don't know what the law situation is down there, but what if it's close? What if they're gonna pass it in a year and you're this cop? You can keep all this for a year. Now it's legal next year. Now you just started a business.
Yeah, I guess so. But where do you keep this much pot on ice or whatever it is that you got to keep weed on?
Apparently not a storage unit.
Yeah.
It did not work. Look into that, people. Florida. See what's going on down there. One of your sheriffs is acting up. Kind of funny.
For sure.
I'm highly suspicious of this whole interaction.
You might smell it on him, or you might not, depending on how stale the weed was.
Finally, we have new Superman comes out as bisexual in the up and coming comic. Superman's done a lot since he's first appeared in a comic book back in the 80s. He's saved the world more than a few times. He's died and come back to life. But until this year, every comic iteration of Superman has been besotted.
Yes.
Okay, that's a new word for me.
Mhm.
I like that one. With longtime love Lois Lane. But in an up-and-coming issue of new Superman series, the Man of Steel enters a queer relationship. The 5th issue of the DC Comics series, Superman, Son of Kal-El, will confirm that the new Superman, John Kent, child of Clark Kent and Lane, is bisexual after falling for Jay Nakamura, a male reporter at DC announced this week. The Superman, Son of Kal-El series follows Kent as he becomes Earth's new Superman and grapples with the immense weight of his new gig. Nakamura, a bespectacled
Yes.
writer, got it right like the 4th time there. You working with me? With the bubblegum pink mop, first appeared in the series' 3rd issue as a shoulder for Kent to lean on when business of being Superman gets too rough.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, do it up.
Okay. All right. I mean, whatever. Do you, Superman? Do you?
Yeah, I mean, you still like, climbing buildings in a single jump or whatever the phrase was, and uh stronger than a locomotive and saving the world. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
I don't care
but
what you do on your free time, my G. Freaking dope. That's awesome. That's your relationships, B. You still gonna do the other stuff? That's all. That's what I'm interested in as Superman in my world. Like, if you a real dude, yeah, that's cool. Who you kissing is your business. It's awesome. Good for you. He seems like a good looking guy. But you still gonna do the saving stuff. That's what
right,
I'm
yeah, that's
concerned
what
with.
we wanna know. Like, you're
Yeah,
still
that's
gonna do
what I
your
want to know.
job, right?
Yeah. Like,
Don't be putting my distress calls on read. Don't leave my
yeah.
distress calls on read.
That's all I'm caring about here. The rest of that, yeah, that's great. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm digging it though. Good for
Yeah,
him.
I mean, good for John Kent, son of
Yeah.
Clark Kent. Um, I wonder if he also needs glasses or well, wait, did Clark Kent actually need glasses or was that just his
Yeah, I was just his like costume.
Yeah, I guess so. What do you
Yeah.
even I got so many questions that have nothing to do with the fact that he's making out with this young man. Good for him. I'm glad someone's getting it. You know what I mean? You get yours, Superman. The rest of us out here
There you
struggling.
go.
I don't want to see
Yeah.
Superman on Tinder.
I don't want to see Superman on Tinder. Like this, I would feel terrible for my friends. Like that. That's too much to compete against.
Yeah,
That's not
well, let me
fair.
tell you something. As somebody who has spent almost 72 hours on Tinder cumulatively,
Okay.
um, a very big thing that guys were doing in their profile pictures
Okay.
was opening up a dress shirt and a jacket to show like a Superman t-shirt, the emblem underneath as if they were Superman.
Wow.
There was a lot of that. There was so much of that.
Shots tired of you superheroes. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's over.
It was a lot.
Oh man. If you would like to help Shalewa pay for a Tinder Prime or Pro
No,
subscription.
because I'm sure those guys all are jokers or something. I don't want that. I do not want to pay for Tinder Plus or whatever it is, where I'm going to end up with a bunch of Batmans. Those guys are crazy.
Oh man. So yeah. All you gotta do is like and subscribe. If you're a Apple listener, we appreciate your ratings. Sincerely, it helps out the show. 4 stars. You a Superman hater, okay? You don't want him making out with the pink haired dude. That's the problem with you.
Mhm.
Get over it. 5-star, you on board. You actually recommending other differently colored hair people to him too. You know what I mean? Why
You're trying
not?
to
Give
hook
him
them up
options. Yeah.
with your green-haired friend.
Superman needs wing people, you know? Why not? He could fly, but it's a different kind of thing, you know? If you have any articles you'd like us to cover, DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shouts to the Realist 23 for DMing us with one of the articles. And thanks to David Rivers, who sent me an article about soup teas, which I thought was great. So while it was an older article I couldn't cover it on the show, I found it very informative to kind of learn a little bit of the differences and of a new trend. With all that said, my name is Gastor Almonte, always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. It's been a War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.
Lord, let me grow. 'Cause the block gets hard. Once the guns go cold.